Dan Hooker himself. Hello, Dan. How are you?
Give me a hug.
Come on, let's go. This is wonderful. Thank you for coming in.
Nah, no trouble.
This is a great honor for us. Great pleasure. Who do we have over here?
That's Ike.
Hey, what's up, Ike? How are
Security.
you? That's not, you got your own security, huh?
Nah, it's Israel's.
That's not David, is it?
That's not Big Dave.
Nah.
We got official. We got
Dave's
official
wannabe
security
media.
detail.
Respect. Please make yourself welcome, my friend. Wow, Izzy rolls in with security now. Man.
Yeah, we rolled over with him and everything.
Yeah,
it's a good life rolling with the champ. We're
Speaking of which, you guys are in this mansion. I saw you last night.
Limos, life's good. I got no
on.
complaints.
I saw you in the hot tub last night. Fight dietitian bringing you some. What was he?
That was
bringing you?
actually blind luck. That looked like I said I was legit.
It was tremendous.
That was legit. I was doing a video, and he walks in and delivers my my dessert. So yesterday.
Wait, I see you eating wings. You're eating.
It's the science of it, man.
What is going on?
He's just a very smart man. He's just very good at.
You guys are having hamburgers. I looked. You are having buns too. You're not cutting out the carbs.
Pizza, burgers,
really?
Chicken wings yesterday.
How is this possible?
Dessert coming out of my ears. You have to ask him. There's a reason,
Yeah.
He's very, very well known or very famous for what he does, and it's because of things like this. Because I have absolutely no ideas. I'm used to eating boiled chicken and.
Is he cooking for all you guys? One guy?
Nah, just the fighters. Not
just
like
the fighters,
not
okay.
like the rest of them having pizza and whatever they want.
This is amazing, though, right? I mean, all you guys being together, the four of you, whole squad. I think you're like 20 deep or something like that.
Probably, I think it's definitely closer to 30 at the moment.
Wow.
And there's more inbound. So there's more arriving. There's more arriving tomorrow. So we've got like the next wave, the next contingent of guys coming over tomorrow. So it'll be, close to 30, 40 guys.
As far as your experiences as a fighter, this one being New York, MSG, all that stuff, you guys in this cool spot. Like, is this one of the more unique experiences that you've had? I mean, you've had some unique ones, but I feel like the camaraderie, the vibes, you guys all together, Izzy at the top, main event, you're just scattered all throughout the card. This is special stuff.
Oh, big time. Me and Israel haven't fought on the same card since Melbourne, since the stadium show when he was unifying the championship. So he was interim champion at the time. So that's the last time we were on the card. That was me, Brad, Israel. We all got the wins that night, and I just feeling like it's going to be the same thing. Like it's just like everyone's been commenting on it, but it's just different when you have all your people there. Everyone's got your back. And then it's just a snowball effect.
How would you describe where you're at right now? I saw an interview with you and the Submission Radio guys, great guys, and I thought that you were very reflective, introspective, critical of yourself, not in a negative way, but talked about the last couple of years, not things that you would have done differently, because I didn't take that away. You said you would, you had no regrets or things like that, but I thought that you were like in a really interesting spot, the way you were talking about your career. How would you describe where you're at right now?
Yeah, I'm just excited because I know the place that I'm in right now, and it's an incredibly good place because I don't feel like I tried to cover anything up or tried to hide from anything. I feel like I faced everything, and I feel like I fixed everything. I feel like all the holes in my game where they were. As I said in the interview, I feel like I was. Those are things that were covered up by incredible training and phenomenal coaches. Like my team is so good and my coaches are so good, and our training and preparation leading up to that was so good that those holes in my game were just being covered by that. But obviously, with the restrictions of COVID and being away from your coaches and being away from your team, then those holes shone through. Those flaws in your game shone through. So it was a good experience to take the time to realize those things and to fix those problems. And now we're reintroducing the phenomenal training camp and the incredible coaches on top of that. So it's hard to say that I regret making any of those decisions, or it's hard to regret any of that path that I went down, because I feel like I'm in a great place right now, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the future.
Coach Eugene told us that he thinks that the pandemic stunted everyone's growth on the team, that you guys would be further along as fighters, better fighters. had it not been for the pandemic, he even mentioned, you training in your garage at times and you having to be alone in Abu Dhabi and whatnot. Do you agree with that?
No, not me personally. I don't feel like it. I'd say from the outside looking in, you're going to be like, man, this guy was just went main event, hometown, top 5, getting a shot at the Dustin Poirier fight. And had I won that fight, he got the Conor McGregor fight off of that. So I would say from the outside looking in, people would say that. But I feel like if that hadn't happened, and I had that fight, and I had a fight after that, I wouldn't be the same fighter I am now. I wouldn't be as mentally and emotionally mature if I hadn't gone through those challenging experiences. I think I'm better for it. Obviously, from the outside looking in, you didn't fight Conor McGregor and you didn't get a title shot. So from the outside looking in, people are going to say, no, it definitely stunted your growth. But internally, in myself, I feel like I'm so much better for going through those experiences, regardless of what happens next, regardless of future, getting a title shot and getting millions of dollars and stuff like that. Regardless of the future, for going through those difficult circumstances, I'm a more well-developed person. So that I can't regret and I can't take back that.
The last fight, the Arnold Allen fight, how miserable, on a Monday, could we have done this or were you miserable?
Could we have done this? I probably could have done that, but it's not, it would have been, you would have just put a mask on. Could I have put a mask on?
Yeah.
Of course I could put a mask on. I could have sat down with you the next day and said, everything's fine, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. But that's not, that's what I think people rush that. People rush the interviews after a loss, or they rush oh man, I need to put on this front and act like a certain way. You don't. You're not going to process that kind of emotion in a day. You need to just sit with it. Really, realistically, you just need to sit and experience that. And I did. I just sat and experienced those emotions. And it was, just as time goes, you start thinking, oh, well, this is the next logical step forward. And so it's once you start creating that pattern and a way to figure it out and get out of it, then it's easy to deal with.
When did you decide that you wouldn't go back to 45? Was it after the fight, or maybe even before the fight? You're like, oh, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore.
Nah, it was straight away. I knew what that was. I think we all knew what that was. That was an opportunity to get back in the mix. I could see that the 45-pound division was kind of stalling, and it is kind of stalled right now. They're going to have to do a interim title. No one really got the knockout finish or anything like that to jump above everyone else and get into the title picture. So I saw it as an opportunity. A back door was kind of left open to work my way towards the title. But once that's out of the picture, it's 55 for sure.
So it's really interesting because one thing about the CKB team that obviously we all admire is that you guys are a family. You're so close-knit, right? But I got the impression, and even from, some of the things that you tweeted in the past about managers and whatnot, about the business side of MMA, and you talked about this in the interview about kind of doing things on your own and kind of having to figure things out on your own. It felt like, and correct me if I'm misreading this, you were a bit of a lone wolf in that, you didn't want anyone to tell you what to do. You're going to manage yourself. You're going to make decisions. You don't care if everyone tells you 45 is a bad idea. You're going to do it because you want to do it. Do you feel now that you are more in sync with the team now that, you are managed by, AP and you are, listening to the coaches and you're back at 55? Does it feel like you kind of, you rebelled a little bit and now you're back in sync with everyone else?
1,000%.
Okay, all right. I didn't want to say all that and be like, fuck you. That is wrong.
No, 1,000%.
So why did you rebel?
I'm just headstrong. You just wanted to do it my way, wanted to do it. It's just backing yourself and stuff like that, and more, less. It's not like I was trying to push anyway. I just believed in myself, you know what I mean? And it took going through those experiences to realize how important the people are around me are, how important my team is, how important putting the right people in the right places and trusting these people to make the right decisions. Because I would wanted to do it all on my own and wanted to do this and that and just took on too much. So like for this fight, another one of the changes is just stepping back from all of that and just showing up to the gym and just being a fighter instead of putting all these different hats on and running around doing a bunch of crazy stuff.
What were you doing? What were you putting on your plate?
Just like obviously like managing yourself and
so you were in there talking to the UFC. You didn't have anyone speaking on your behalf.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm too much of like a rocket scientist with that. I said I would like transcribe it one day, my conversations with the UFC. Even like getting my first contract with the UFC, it was, can you make 45? And then I just emailed back, yeah. And that was it. I emailed back like, yeah, thanks. Like I'm sure the amount of years, 8 years I've been fighting and competing in the UFC, probably less than 100 words, like less than in 8 years. In 8 years with the matchmakers, it could be less than 50 words.
Oh
like what I've gotten away with is like been ridiculous. But it obviously didn't pay off. Like the last one, I didn't even ask where it was, which was like which was a major flaw in the plan. When everyone's like, yeah, I'm fighting on this card, and they were like the London card, and I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. I was like, do you know how far away that is?
Yeah. How far away is that?
That was, man, that took me like 30, I think it was like 38 hours.
38?
Like door to door.
Come on.
Because I flew to LA, which was like 12 hours.
Oh my God.
And then like obviously waiting around at the airport for things like that. I think my plane got delayed. And then it's another 12 hours from LA to London. So it was like when I landed in LA and then I was sitting there for a bit and I started feeling jet lagged, I was like, yeah, I'm screwed. But this one's been, comparing like those past experiences to stuff like this is just, we're on holiday.
When did you decide, all right, I need some help? What was the breaking point for you? I can't do this on my own. It's clearly working for other people, right? Look at the other members of your team. They're clearly benefiting from having someone help them.
Yeah, it's like, definitely like, it's not any one thing. It's just like an accumulation.
Got it.
An accumulation of things, really. Like every one of those like risky situations that I was in, or all those bad situations, like I was advising it. Like Eugene advised me against every single last one of those things. So you take that, at the end of the day, you take that into account.
Were you not worried that you would fracture your relationship with him if you're going against every single thing that he's telling you to do?
I think he knows me. Like we've known each other for a very long time. Like I trained with him before. I look to him as a coach or a manager or advisor or anything like that. So he knows me. He knows it's not like a personal thing. Like he knows that it's not like I don't trust him or anything like that. Like I'm just headstrong. Like that's just it. Like if you tell me right now I can't run through that wall, like I'm gonna
You're gonna try to do it.
I'm gonna try.
Right. So he was never like, if you don't listen to my advice, how can I coach you?
Like he would advise me, but he's not like, he's not. A fighter's got to figure it out for themselves. Like that's something I've learned as a coach as well. Like you can tell them like this is the right way to do it, and people will still do the opposite way and find out the hard way. And it's just how some people learn is by doing it on their own shoulders or doing it on their 2 feet and figuring it out. But I feel like I've figured it out for myself.
So you feel like you're now in a good spot. You feel at peace, harmony, everything's in sync.
I'm in a good place. Incredible training camp. I feel great. The mind's good. The body's good. I feel better mentally and physically than I ever have.
Is there any kind of pressure whatsoever just to remind people who you are, right? Maybe they forgot the last couple of years, to remind people that you're that guy who was knocking on the Conor McGregor door, so to speak?
That will just come with it. That just comes with performing at your best. It's not like I have to go out there and prove anything to anyone. So I'm not really thinking about that. I'm focusing on myself, and I'm focusing on, like my kind of performance. And then whatever comes with that will come with that. It's a byproduct of, just a byproduct of performing at your best and performing at your capabilities.
By the way, like, if you don't mind me asking, like right now, how much do you weigh?
Like 170 something.
170. So you still have like 14 pounds left. On the Monday before the Allen fight, how much did you weigh?
I
hope not 170.
Not 170.
Okay.
Like 155 maybe.
Oh, that's great.
No.
Oh, bigger than that.
I'm going kilos. I'm going kilos to pounds here. Now it was like 72 kg. So whatever that is.
Whatever that is. Let me see what that is. Was it brutal in retrospect?
Like that's another thing that is like, my mind is so much stronger than my body. I can convince myself something's easy. So like to me, you put me on a lie detector, I'm going to tell you that was the easiest thing, and I could do that like left and right. But it's having those people. It's like having your coaches around you. Like, I swear, like I was in the gym with all of my coaches. They would have been able to tell me, you perform better here. Like there's no way like you're performing at the same level as you do over here. But me, like my mind is so much stronger than my body. I can convince myself.
Wow. Have you always been that way?
That it was easy.
Even as a kid?
In terms of martial arts, for sure. Like obviously you like you just gradually get tougher over time. Like just showing up to a gym every single day, 2 times, 3 times a day, you just gradually get like more mental fortitude every single day. So I'd say with martial arts, you need like a little bit of delusion. You need a little bit of when you're just lying to yourself, when you just show up to the gym and you just walk in the gym. You feel like dog shit, but you just walk in the gym and you say, I feel great today. And you say it and you convince you like say it so many times, you convince yourself that you actually do feel great. And because you need that consistency if you're gonna actually want to get everywhere. So it was like a bit of that spilling over. And so now it's like having the right people in the right places to kind of stop that sort of thing.
Do you ever doubt yourself?
Do I ever doubt myself? No. Once I've made a decision, like I feel like in the decision-making process, there's like a bit of internal dialogue or a bit of internal discussion. But I'd say like once a decision has been made, it's been made. We're going forward now.
The confidence of a fighter is something that I'm always so fascinated by, because like if I have a bad show, I mean, and maybe that means you're just a lot stronger than I am mentally, but like I'll say like you suck, you ain't worth shit, you know, you've lost a step. Like I will, you know, talk to myself until I'm blue that I'm not worth a damn. And yet you guys, and I'm not competing in front of millions of people, you know, essentially naked in a cage against another human being, right? And you guys will, you know, you'll bounce back and you'll dust yourself off and everyone's criticizing you and there's online hate and all this stuff and you're like, yeah, all right, let's do this again. I'm the man.
It's because you get stuck. You get stuck. Once you let those sort of things in, like after the last fight, if I would have just sat there, all these people saying these things, and you just start arguing, going back and forth with them. It's just like a vicious cycle that you get stuck in, and you obviously don't progress if you're stuck in a cycle. It's about like this whole thing, regardless of the wins and losses. It's about creating memories, creating emotions, creating, you know, bringing out that passionate experience in people, and it's about creating. And so instead of being stuck here, I set my mind and I set my task to like creating a new experience, creating a new memory, creating a new emotion, and my path is on that. And it's very difficult once you're on that path of creating that. It's very difficult to get stuck. So it's more about that, and that's what I focus on, and that's like a cycle, and it builds momentum, and then obviously like people are always attracted to that. That attracts people. It's a part about like you start becoming a creative force where everyone's just like, man, I like that energy's great. And people jump on board that energy and it builds and it grows. And I feel like that's what this camp is with all of the team. And then it just continues to build and continues to build until fight night, where we get to create memories and create emotions for everyone that's supported us.
I asked Carlos about this. I asked Brad about this. I'd love to ask you as well. At the beginning, I don't know if you saw, but Coach Eugene was here. He was the first guest. And he was incredible speaking about kind of a moment in the training camp where he had to really lay down the law and kick you guys in the butt. He felt like everyone was being complacent. He said that this fractured the camp initially, but then everyone got on board. He felt like he needed to,
Knives were pulled.
Knives were pulled. Legit knives or figurative knives?
No, legit knives.
Oh, okay, because it seemed that, honestly, when he was telling...
He would have had him on this chair.
What do you mean?
He's got his knife.
So could you tell me about this moment? And did you feel...
I don't know. There were a number of moments. I'm not sure if there...
This seems like an intense camp. He said he's never had to go there before.
I've seen him go a few times, but there was a few... We got a few big town golf. We got a few... He kicked...
Why did this have to happen?
Times. It had to happen. It had to happen because... it's just to wake everyone up. Maybe we were being complacent. I think we were. Well, after that, we definitely reached a new level. Like he demanded another level. He demanded more out of us. When previous to that moment, that was it. That was as hard as we could go. We're training to we're absolutely exhausted. City Kickboxing is a 7-day-a-week program. I hadn't had a day off in 2 months as it was. Like, that was the maximum. And he demanded more.
Wow.
And he not only demanded more, he shouted at us, told us we sucked, and we are just being complacent and being average, and he demands more out of us. And we met the challenge. I feel like we definitely reached a new level post life-threatening. It's a life-threatening experience.
I don't think a lot of, maybe I'm wrong, but the relationship that he has with you guys, it's just different. Like, I don't think there's a lot of coaches, especially here in America, who are going to speak like that to their fighters, and the fighters will respond.
It's more like, because I've obviously trained in the US and trained overseas and stuff like that.
Am I right about that then?
1,000%. It's not. It's more of like a family thing. It's more of like a family thing. Whereas
at CKB.
Yeah. Whereas I think other gyms, it's obviously there's like emotional connections and stuff like that you've known people for a very long time. But it's like somewhat of a business relationship. Whereas like if you push someone so far, they're gonna go, I've had enough of this and I'm walking out. Whereas like City Kickboxing, like no one's gonna go anywhere. Like I'm gonna train at City Kickboxing forever. I'm not gonna, no matter how many times Eugene screams at me and does these sort of things, like we're in it together. We're in it to the end. So I feel like that's what separates. So he's able to push us and prod us and break us down emotionally because there's no back door. There's no leaving. Like we're in it for the long haul.
Was it so intense that you thought maybe someone would leave? Or it's not even a thought that enters your mind?
Nah, it's not even a thought. It's not even a thought.
I don't know if you know this, if he, expressed this to you, but he told us that you were the first one to get on board. Did you know he viewed it like that? He said first it was you, then he said Carlos, Brad, and then Israel. Did you know that he viewed that you were the first one to get on board with whatever he was saying?
I feel like I responded straight away, but I feel like I responded to it straight away because of all the stuff that's happened in the past. Because I didn't listen in the past, and then I am where I am because I didn't listen.
Right.
So that's why I knew straight away when he demanded more. I knew we were capable of more, and like it's my job to just show everyone else how important it is and how, he's right. He was right. He was bang on the money.
When you're the first one to kind of lead the charge, is he the type of coach who will say like, "Thank you, you stepped it up today"? Does he throw out compliments a lot?
Nah, it's more like the opposite. It's more like you get left alone.
Okay. You don't get criticized as much.
Yeah. Like I know I'm performing in the gym when I get left alone.
Wow.
When no one when no one's up your ass, that's when you know that you must be doing everything okay.
Never a compliment?
Why? What am I gonna do with that?
Great day.
Why?
No? Doesn't feel good.
How is that gonna help me?
But you're on the way out.
I don't need to feel good. I need to
You're leaving for the day. Good work today. Something like that, no? You don't get
maybe
that?
for some of the other coaches. Yeah, maybe.
Not from him.
Yeah.
What does he just say? Bye?
Why?
I don't know. It just makes you feel good about yourself. No?
Why do I need to feel good about myself? That's not going to help me. That's not going to help me.
Confidence, I don't know, something like that.
Confidence is an internal thing. That's not any like real confidence is internal. External, you can't get confidence from someone else. Like that's a facade. That's a fake.
Someone tells you you're the freaking man. I believe in you.
That's temporary. And then when you get exhausted and you're losing a fight and it's the end of the third round or the fifth round, like then someone can't stand in the corner and yell, "You're the man," though. Like it doesn't work like that. That confidence needs to be internal. Like you actually have to know that you're better than the other guy.
Are you confident?
1000%.
Have you always been?
Yeah, like you just know you're capable of more. Like my entire career has been like a roller coaster. I started my professional career 3 wins, 3 losses, like a 50-50 record, and people going like, "I'm pretty sure you suck. Like you're not. You're like 1 loss of having a losing record."
Right.
But you just know within yourself that you're capable of so much more.
Doesn't that drive you nuts? 50-50 record, you drop one here and then you're like, I know I'm better than this, and I have to hear people talk about me or view me in a certain way, or I'm not.
Yeah, but it's like I know I'm capable of so much more. It's not because anyone else said anything else. Like I don't.
Well, even to let yourself down, right? Because you think that you can make it to the greatest heights, and yet the results aren't coming. So does that not affect you?
Yeah, but you like the only person that can help you is you. Like,
right.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm in this place because because I know I'm capable of so much more. So it's like, but it's on me to go out there and prove it. It's on me to go out and show everyone else.
What about this interest in American football that you have? I saw you did an interview this weekend with Megan Anderson.
I'm a college guy.
Are you a college guy now? Because I see you supporting the Raiders. And I don't know. There's some people saying
I only go field box. Raiders field box.
I know. Yeah. They're choking a lot these days. Have you seen this? Up 17.
I'm a college ball guy.
What is your college team?
Texas, because they're hooking boys.
That's right. Why?
That's one of my ones.
Here, my guy put this together. You in the Raiders hat, but he put the scores. Like, what is he trying to do, Connor? I mean,
trying to rub it in.
That's not very nice.
Watch Alabama. That's.
Do you really like college football?
That's one of my. I watched the game of the weekend.
Why?
Nick Saban's guys.
Wow.
Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide. That's Frankie, one of my wrestling coaches. He's a big.
Hickman.
Yeah, he's a big Alabama guy.
I had no idea. Do they show that on TV?
In New Zealand?
Yeah.
Nah, I got to wait till I come over here.
Okay. So you come over here, you immerse yourself.
Come over here, it's been college football.
College football. Not
NFL. We went down on the weekend, but we'll be back next.
Who's we?
Texas?
Alabama. Oh, Alabama. You're Alabama now. I love it. Wow. Do you follow rugby as well?
Probably not as much as I should. The Women's Rugby World Cup is on at the moment. That's very good.
And where's that?
Yeah, New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah, we've got the Women's Rugby World Cup. I would say that is incredibly entertaining to watch.
When you're walking on the streets right now, do you in back home in New Zealand, do you get recognized a lot?
I don't know. Kiwis are pretty cool. They'll just like call up to you and go,
okay.
Then you just
no one
and
annoys you.
They kind of just leave you alone.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. I
I
bumped
feel
into another guy at the supermarket, and he was like my local supermarket, and he was just like, oh, he's like, what are you doing here? I was like, I live here.
Yeah.
I thought you lived in America. I'm like, no.
But you guys are world renowned, so that was the big thing over the last couple of years, that you weren't being treated like the All Blacks or something like that. I'm wondering now if you feel the love from the people.
Oh, I've always felt that love from people. I've always felt the love from New Zealand and stuff like that. Like the people, I feel like we're the people sportsmen. That was never in question. You'll never say that I didn't feel like felt like underappreciated by the people of New Zealand, because that's just false.
They love you.
I've always felt like they've had my back. That's that was just the situation that everyone was in with lockdowns and stuff like that.
Poirier Chandler, what a fight, huh? You know those guys.
I have, I've met them, yeah.
Who do you think wins that one?
I'm not too sure, man. I think your guess is as good as mine. I think just Chandler has just a wanton disregard for his own personal safety, which makes for incredibly exciting fights. That guy is going to be a problem for anyone. But Poirier is so durable and experienced. I feel like if we can go past, we'll see. It's going to be exciting first round, but your guess is as good as mine.
And fighting at MSG, does this mean anything to you?
Oh, big time, big time. Madison Square Garden. Some of the best in the world have fought. It's another one I get to tick off the list. I thought Saitama Super Arena was a big one for me. I actually wanted to fight there. I was like, man, I want to get on that card, because it was Mark Hunt, Roy Nelson were the main event of that card. I was like, man, I want to watch Mark Hunt fight in the Saitama Super Arena. That's what was going to blow my mind. That was the objective of fighting in there. I went out there and I fought. That was my second fight in the UFC, and I fought a guy, Maximo Blanco, and just got both my eyes punched in. It was a good fight, very exciting.
You can watch it.
I got both my eyes punched in, and I went out back I had cuts. I think it was 10, 12 stitches, and I'm sitting up in the stands. I get a hot dog. I'm watching the main card starts, and my eyes are slowly shutting, and I was like, oh no. Got to the main event, got to Mark Hunt's walkout, and I was like, guys, what's going on? I was like, guys, they're weeping. They're both swollen shut. I'm sitting there trying to watch Mark Hunt like this.
Oh man,
I couldn't see it, and then I just hear, boom! The crowds are up. The crowds are screaming. I go, what happened? Bro, what happened?
You love Mark Hunt.
I love Mark Hunt.
You see him this weekend?
I did.
Incredible, right?
Sonny Bill, talented guy. Sonny Bill's an absolute freak. That's
48. Mark Hunt, still knocking people out.
Beast.
Do you ever train with him?
Please don't.
Okay.
No.
Or been around him? No, I don't mean you spar him, but have you?
I've obviously fought on, I think maybe 4 or 5 Mark Hunt cards. So that's a guy. He's
legend.
I grew up watching. That's a absolutely legend.
Well, you're a legend as well. I'm looking forward to the return.
Thank you.
Claudio Puelles, this is going to be a fun fight.
It's going to be a fun fight.
Right?
It's gonna be a fun fight.
I feel like both of your styles match up well. I feel like it's going to be all action. Good fight for you to be reintroduced to the 55 division.
Yeah, I feel like this is a fresh start. I feel like it's a fresh start. You get to prove. It's one of those fights. Everyone starts asking questions. You get to prove where you stand in the division. I feel like a lot of questions will be answered from this fight.
Good luck to you, my friend. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
By the way, what about this weather, huh? It's like summer over there.